because I will forget. I have had like other people like, can I be part of your team call because I just love Karli and I want to learn from her. I'm like, yeah. So I'm super excited, and I don't want to take a bunch of time away from her, but I will just tell you, remember to lean in during this time. During this time, I've been posting a lot of resources in our leadership page. I am very aware that everyone, I feel like right now, has more than just a pandemic at their fingertips. Like in their life right now, everyone has additional stressful stuff. Most of us are moms. A lot of you are homeschooling, and there's just a lot going on right now. And I understand that. And this is where, this is kind of these are the moments in life that separate the people who quit and the people who excel. And I promise you, it hurts right now. But for anyone who's been through any kind of hard period in your life, or for anyone who has a stronger character, you know that it's the hard times that have created and developed that strength within you. It's not the easy times. And I've said this before, I don't remember what, but you never have like an inspirational speaker, motivational speaker, or influencer on a stage. Hey. You don't have anyone go on the stage and speak to thousands of people and say, my secret to success is that my life has been extremely easy, right? It's been super simple, and I've never really had any hard things come up for me, and I just follow the status quo and do what everyone else does. And, you know, I quit a lot of times when things get hard. Like, no one ever says that. And so I just wanted to remind everybody to decide who you want to be in the face of adversity. Who do you want to be when things get hard? What kind of example do you want to be for your kids? What kind of example do you want to be for the people around you? That being said, at the same time, we have to balance that with grace, right? Because I've been going through my own stuff with my, Logan having surgery in the middle of a pandemic and him being up in pain all the time. And I swear, like, I'm the most health nut person that you know, and my kid is living off of Tylenol and popsicles. Like, it is a struggle for me right now, but I know that this too shall pass. And I'm thinking, what is the opportunity in this? What can I learn? How can I grow? And how can I connect and help more people? And also, I'm going to sleep in because I need to take care of myself, so there's a balance of grace and shifting our perspective to really, how can I lean into this time? So without any further ado, I'm going to introduce our guest speaker so I can mute myself because these kids are going to keep screaming and crying in the background. Karli, I'm so glad you're here. Let me pull up her accolades. I know you guys all have seen them. I think some of you know this, but I actually met Karli, and Sarah actually is with me too. Sarah and I got to meet Karli on the Beachbody cruise when we went to the Bahamas, and it's when I ran into Amy Bailey in the elevator. We were both highly intoxicated on wine and ended up following them to dinner, and that's when I got to meet Karli and her husband Kevin and some of our other friends, and we hung out on the cruise the whole time. This is where I love our community. I love the people that we get to connect with in our network, because just the coolest people I've ever met, honestly, in our network. And it's such an honor to be able to hear from her tonight. Excuse me, hold on. So Karli has had 45 months at SC10. Their success leaves cues, right? She's a 10-star diamond coach, 2-star in her second business center, and a diamond in her third business center. She's a 6-figure earner, 2-time elite coach, and she retired her husband within 3 years of coaching and quit her job within 18 months. How freaking inspiring is that? So she knows what she's doing. I love her hustle. I love her light. I love her authenticity and who she is. Karli, I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm so excited for all of us to get to hear more of what you have to say.
Hey guys, oh, I'm so excited to be here. Yeah, so I actually reached out to Jess like a month ago or so, and I was like, can you please speak on our team call? And she's like, well, do you want to speak on ours? I'm like, heck yeah. So I'm so excited to be here. She dropped some truth bombs on our team a couple days ago, and they've been loving it. So I'm going to come in here, chat a little bit about belief, talk a little bit about my story, and just some overarching like things that have really helped me like develop massive action and see massive results in my business these last 4 years. So before I dive in, I'm just going to start with a little bit about my story, because I think that really pairs well with this whole like belief topic that I'm going to talk about, and like staying rooted in your why. And I love that Jessica talked about, staying like focused on your business even during like times of trial. I've had a lot of coaches who are like, well, I got laid off from my job, and now I don't have a job. And I'm like, well, you're a coach, and coaching is a job. So please don't go posting all over social media that you're unemployed, because this is literally a job. And forewarning, I'm very tough love. I'm an 8 on an Enneagram. So if I offend anybody, I'm sorry. But like, I just think, especially during, again, times of trial, like she said, no one's going to come on here and be like, I'm successful because it was handed to me on a silver platter, and everyone should do what I do because it's easy. Like, if we set that kind of expectations, like we're just kind of setting ourselves up for failure, and like the people that you're going to recruit are going to expect this to be easy. So it's okay to talk about the fact that this is freaking hard. And again, like, especially during times of trial, like I would say, like, last month in March, I hit some of the highest Success Club numbers and helped the most people that I've ever helped ever. Our team as a whole, I think, hit higher numbers Success Club wise than we have ever hit team wise as a whole, and helped more people than we've ever helped before. So, you can use these, like, obviously these situations as, reasons why you can't. And then the people who are successful in this business, they use these types of like trials and hard times as reasons why they should push forward. And so I'll dive into a little bit of that too. But yeah, so I started coaching, it was 4 years ago, this past February. Before coaching, was a full-time yoga teacher. And then before that, I was actually working at Starbucks corporate. I did that right before I graduated college. And so I tested out kind of like a whole bunch of different avenues. I realized when I was working at Starbucks corporate at an internship, I was like, I cannot do this for the rest of my life. I always share this in my Become a Coach workshops, but I was literally like standing in a meeting. We were talking about like coffee mug like placement and coffee bean placement, and like the arrangement for like this promo set that was going to be launching like that Christmas season or whatever. And we were talking about it for like 20 minutes. And I was literally like, okay, no, like I love coffee, but like I don't love it enough to like dedicate like the next 30 years of my life to like wake up, drive into downtown Seattle, and talk about bringing coffee beans and coffee labels. Like, it's cool, but it's not my passion. It isn't like what I believe to my, like in my core was like aligned with my values and what I wanted to dedicate my life or have my career path be. So I got out of that and saved up some money, went to India for 2 months and did a yoga teacher training, and then traveled to India for a month, came back, dove into the, yoga teaching industry, was working at like 4 different gyms, 4 different yoga studios. I started my own kids yoga business, like all these different things, and was spread so thin. Was not practicing what I was preaching, did not feel like I was, again, walking the walk. I was just kind of like talking the talk, and I stopped practicing yoga. I stopped, putting myself first. I had no idea about proper nutrition and had no education on that. And so I had been following this girl on Instagram. I reached out to her. I was like, is this a pyramid scheme? Because I don't want to be a part of that. Like, literally straight up after that, like I had no idea what Beachbody was. I wasn't following any Beachbody coaches. I didn't even know what Beachbody was. I was only following Jamie because she was my friend's friend at the time. He's now my husband. It was his sister-in-law. So like I had no clue and had like never followed any Beachbody coaches. I had no idea what it was. And I was like, but you look really happy and you're a personal trainer and you get to like work from home, and like you look like you're like, a lot more like, centered in the fitness industry and like focusing on things that fill you up. So clearly what I'm doing isn't working. So I'm gonna look to you and ask you for advice. And so she said, sign up. I'm gonna plug you into my fitness group. We're gonna get you started. And that's just kind of a side note. Like I really encourage my coaches, like don't take advice from people whose lives you don't want yours to look like. Like my parents gave me a ton of advice, and I love my parents to death. Like they're amazing, super successful people. But like personally, like what I want my life and my future to look like is like literally nothing like what my mom and dad's life looks like. Like I don't want my life to look like that at all. So like as much as I respect them and love them, and I totally do respect them. Like life-wise, career-wise, like I needed to go find somebody else whose life I aspired my life to be like. And I found that person and I started being coachable from her, because that's what I wanted my life to look like. And 4 years later, yeah, Kev and I's life looks nothing like my parents' life. Like they thought it was crazy that I retired Kev, but like, this is what I wanted my life to look like. And so I started taking advice from people whose lives I aspired mine to be like. So I always encourage my coaches to do that. And it's like so easy, whether it's in fitness or in business, like go follow and take advice from somebody who like you aspire your life to be more like, and be coachable. Like I was not coachable, and I'll dive into that as well. But anyway, so 4 years ago, February 2016, I jumped into a fitness group. I did the 21-day fix back to back for 42 days straight. I followed the nutrition plan to a T and did not cheat once on the nutrition plan. I drank my Shakeology every single day and did not miss a day of Shakeology. And I got freaking shredded. I was literally like, what the hell is going on? Like I was so shocked. I was so blown away at like the results that I'd seen. I had never seen, like, it was like 30 minutes at home in my parents' hallway. I was like, what the heck is going on? Like, and I talked on social media about the fact that I didn't think this was going to work. I was super authentic about it. And like, 30 minutes at home, dialing in my nutrition, and it totally just like blew me away, like seeing those results. And from there I was hooked, and you guys all know that, and you guys probably have those same experiences. But from there I've been hosting challenge groups ever since. And again, it had always started with fitness for me. But after those 42 days, or about like 2 months of diving into my fitness journey, I really dove into the coaching realm. And, my mentors, Jamie and her husband, Steve, they would always tell me, plan for success in this business. And I want to ask you guys, like, do you really believe, and are you really planning for success in this business? Because I needed somebody to tell me that like 100 times in a row before I was like, this is going to work. This is going to work. I just need to stay focused. I just need to focus on the basics. I just need to keep going. I just need to like keep showing up even when times are tough. And like, do you guys really believe that? Are you guys showing up every single day and planning for success in your business? Not hoping. I literally have this like rule in my team page where nobody is allowed to use the word hope. And if I ever hear anybody say hope, I literally say, excuse me? Like, what did you just say? Like you either will hit success club or you will not hit success club. There's no such thing as hope. So do you really believe that, right? Are you planning for success? Are you showing up every single day? I'm going to work towards 2-star diamond. I'm going to open up my second CVC and my income's going to blow out of the water. Because like, that's what happens. But if you don't plan for that and you're not focused, you don't believe that, right? Like your beliefs are choices, right? We get to choose what we believe, and you have to choose to plan for that success. And then also ask yourself in the back of your mind, no one else can do this for you and no one else can answer this besides yourself. Is there a plan A, B, or C, right? Are there other things going on where it's like, well, if Beachbody doesn't work, then I'm going to do this. And if Beachbody doesn't work, well, then I'll do this. Or if that doesn't work, then I'll do this. If you have like a one toe in, one toe out in this business, you're going to get like half in, half out results, just like you see in fitness, right? And whether, like, I'm not saying this so like you guys are all like, pushing to become full-time coaches. Like, I'm not saying like you guys all have to like, become 6-figure earners and top 10, coaches or whatever. Like whatever your goals are, you have to be all in for whatever that goal is. And you have to believe in that goal wholeheartedly, whether your goal is to make $50 a week, $5,000 a week, $15,000 a week, like whatever your goal is, you have to wholeheartedly believe that that is going to happen. And you have to be all in with that. There can't be a plan A, B, or C if that doesn't work, right? And that kind of circles back to, are you planning for success? So paired with that, when I first started, Jamie really dove into me and asked, you like start developing a why that produces massive action for your business. Like what really is like your why, and what are you going to stay rooted in? So when you show up at, 6 a.m. in the morning before you go and teach your yoga classes, you're going to want to do your reach outs or, fill out your business activity tracker or whatever. And of course we all have those initial like small whys where it's like, I want to help others, or I want to help, other girls like feel better, like I was feeling better, or I want to, make money for my family. But like why? Like a more deeply rooted why that's going to get you out of bed. So my why, there can be small whys, and small whys are great because like I love helping women get unstuck and in motion. That's kind of like my tagline. But a big why. So like my big why is I want to create a life of financial freedom for my family, my future family, and have every morning feel like a Saturday morning. Like that's my big why. And so it has nothing to do with fitness. It has nothing to do with Beachbody. It has nothing to do with 21 Day Fix or Shakeology. It doesn't have anything to do with any of that kind of stuff, because like, if our why is too small, we'll quit on ourselves, right? Like we quit on ourselves before we quit on anybody else, right? It's so easy to just set it to the side. But like, if you develop a why that's bigger, it's going to be easier to take those small actions, right? I always encourage people to like you're not reaching out to hit Success Club. Like, why don't you pair hitting Success Club with creating financial freedom for my family, my future family, and having every morning feel like a Saturday morning? That's why I hit Success Club. I don't hit Success Club to help my 3 people a month because I'm supposed to, and because Jamie tells me to, or because Jessica tells you guys, right? If you connect it to a bigger reason, maybe it's getting out of debt for you guys. Maybe it's paying for your kids' college education when they're older. Like if you can connect your why to something bigger, you're gonna end up doing the work, right? And again, that kind of relates back to your belief in this business, because like nothing will work in this business if you don't have that belief, right? If you don't have that belief in like planning for success, and this is like how I'm going to develop that success in my business, like the small and big whys, like they don't really matter. So I want you guys to have like those small whys and then also those big whys, and then knowing that your small why can be like a building block, but it can't be the blueprint, right? It can't be like the overarching like layout of like how you want to build your business, like helping people. Like it's shallow, right? Like it's awesome, it's exciting, it's cool to be able to help people, but like those can be like the little things that like get you going. But like showing up every day in and out, like when shit hits the fan like it did last month, like you need to have that bigger why. Okay, let me take a sip of water. So just making sure that you're developing a why that produces massive action. All right, and then I have just like some like specific tips that have helped me over the years by kind of like developing that big why, developing that big belief in your business, and making sure that you're planning for success along the way. So the first thing is start leveling up your vision by switching up your surroundings. So this was something that I did like the first couple years of my business. I started noticing, like I told you guys when I first started, I wasn't following any Beachbody coaches. Like I had no idea like what this world even looked like. And then all of a sudden I followed like anybody and everybody, and like people that I related to and people I didn't relate to. And all of a sudden my feed was just filled with all these other Beachbody coaches. And I really lost like my voice on like why I became a coach, or the girl that I wanted to help, and my specific target market of people that I wanted to attract to me. So something that I would really encourage you guys to do is following people, or only following people that push you towards that person that you want to become. I always kind of phrase this as like finding like a social media mentor. And she doesn't have to be somebody that you know in person. She doesn't have to be somebody that you've ever even talked to before, but find a coach in the network that is more successful than you, who lives a similar life that you do, and follow her, study her, and take notes off of her. And then also give yourself permission to be like her instead of idolizing her. So many of my coaches are like, oh my gosh, Ashley Molson is so cool. Oh my gosh, Amy Sliverman is so cool. Like, I hate it when people say that. Like, stop idolizing these freaking people, because these people 3-4 years ago, all they decided to do was give themselves permission to be badasses and start taking action. And if you're sitting there in like the little like bleacher seats up like in the top of the stadium, just looking down at them, like saying like, oh my gosh, they're so cool. Like they only became that way because they gave themselves permission to be badasses. So like, get up. Stop idolizing them, use them as a mentor to help you build your own platform and your own voice in your own business. And instead of like having this little like childlike admiration for these people, which like I totally still do, like Amy Silverman is my jam. But 3 years ago, when I started following her, I was like, I'm gonna be like her. Like, I'm not gonna idolize her. I'm not gonna be like, oh my gosh, she's so cool, she can do that because of this, and like she's successful because of this. Like, no. Like, I studied her. I studied the way that she ran her business. I studied the way she marketed herself. And 4 years later, I've retired my husband just like she has. I've bought my own house just like she has. I've created this life of financial freedom just like she has, because I stepped out of that seat of like, oh my gosh, she's so amazing, and I'm gonna create all these reasons why I can't. But instead, she's so amazing, I'm going to be coachable and learn from her and become like her, right? Like the next top coach could be on this call right now. And the only thing separating you from that next top coach is your belief in your decision to, instead of idolize, work towards being like them, like be coachable like they were, and step into that seat of like, I have just as much opportunity as they do. And so I'm going to start taking those actions. And something else that I just always say is like, no one else is going to give you permission to do that. Like no one else is going to give you permission to take your Instagram seriously. No one else is going to give you permission to take your business seriously. No one else is going to give you permission to get up early in the morning and hit the goals that you've set for yourself besides yourself. So show up and take those actions, because those people that you idolize, they were in your seat 2-3 years ago. They just decided to start taking massive action and take themselves seriously. Okay, so that's tip number 1. Really get specific with who you're following. Make sure they're people who are like you. I don't know if you guys know my upline coach, but it's Jamie Innes. She's amazing. We're nothing like each other. Like we're both introverts, but other than that, like she wants kids and she wants a family and she loves to like stay at home, and like her and I, although like we're best friends, we're sisters. We're both like awesome in our own ways. We're completely different. So although I love Jamie, I don't take social media inspiration and marketing necessarily inspiration from her, because she's not like me. Again, I was talking to you guys about, other coaches that I follow in the network who are more similar to me, who aren't even on my team. Some of them I never even talked to, but like, again, I take advice from them because my interests and my market are more similar to them. Does that make sense? So get really specific on the people that you're following. Don't just follow like all the top 10 coaches. Like find the coaches that really speak to you so that you can get specific kind of like marketing like skills and like techniques from them, but they have to like relate to you, or else there's going to be all of these people saying all these things and you're going to lose your own voice, right? Okay, so that's the first thing. And then the second thing is, I love this one. So stop reinventing the wheel. You guys have an amazing leader on this team, Jessica. She's successful for a reason. She shows up and does things and they work in her business. I think so often we like sign up as coaches and we're like, well, I'm going to do it this way. And I'm going to do it this way. And I'm speaking from example. I did this when I first started. I opened up a Pinterest board and then I built a website. And then I was like creating like these fancy little like email things and like all of these things that didn't build my business, none of which Jamie was doing. And I was just like in Karli, like la la land, like trying to do all of these things that again, Jamie wasn't doing. And so why did I think that like doing that would like get me to where she is, right? So Jessica's successful for a reason. Be coachable. If you have a question, ask her. But if she tells you to do something, suck it up and do it, right? Like nowadays, like I only do what Jamie does. Like if Jamie posts something on her team page, I go and post it on my team page. If Jamie shares something with her PS coaches, I go share it with my PS coaches. If I'm struggling with something and Jamie gives me advice, I don't think about it. I don't think, oh, well, yeah, I mean, maybe I'll do that, but I don't really know if that would work for me. No, like if she tells me to do something, I like put my head down and I get to work and I freaking do it. So be coachable. Like Jessica is successful for a reason. You guys have an amazing leader here pouring into you, wanting you guys to see success. But if we get so lost in like reinventing the wheel and trying to do it like our way, like we're never going to progress because we're constantly just going to be doing these things that are never going to get us those results. So simplify your business, focus on the things that are going to build it. And Jessica knows every answer to all those things. So just ask her and be coachable. Let's see. Okay, so my third tip, I'm going to kind of, so my third tip is get focused on your fitness and your results. Obviously, we all know that. Like my entire business started from me committing to 2 rounds of the 21-day fix, completing the nutrition plan, like from start to finish. Every single fitness program that I do, I start from the beginning to the end. I don't do hybrid calendars. I don't show up and like a la carte the freaking Beachbody on demand. Like I have 10 rounds like on my wall right now. I'm starting it next Monday. And for the past week and a half, I've been like in between bar and 10 rounds and I feel very lost and very confused and like very out of whack. So make sure that you are following a program from start to end. And maybe like a little action item that you guys can do after this call is really ask yourself, like, how many programs have you done? Because like I've done all of them except for Country Heat. Like I've literally done every single fitness program except for Country Heat. Like I've done Insanity. I've done Insanity Asylum Volume 1, Asylum Volume 2. I wanted to kill myself. That program was horrible. Insanity Max 30. Like I've done every single fitness program in the Beachbody catalog. And so ask yourself, if you're on like, round 8 of 21-day fix, like you got to buy 10 rounds and start next Monday with me. Like you guys have got to start doing different programs and doing them from start to finish. That's what we market as coaches, right? Our whole idea is you follow a plan, you get the results. So ask yourself, like, you know, when's the last time you dove in and treated yourself as a test group participant and you followed a program from start to finish and you followed the nutrition plan according to how it was, you know, created right along with it? Because we all know 80% of our results come from our nutrition. There's so many like fancy things that I could talk about with like belief and stuff, but at the end of the day, if you don't believe in what we do, which is following a fitness plan and following a nutrition plan and getting fitness results based on what we provide as coaches, like nothing else is going to matter, right? Like nothing else in this business, like you could do 100 reach outs a day. But if you don't bleed Beachbody Blue and freaking love the programs that have been created and are following them day in and day out and a product of the product every day, like for the last 4 years, I've been doing fitness programs. I've been doing every single one. Some of them I've done twice, but mostly because there's so many that are launching, I've done all of them, you know? So making sure that you're like asking yourself, like, are you being a product of the product? And at the end of the day, we're health and fitness coaches. So with health and fitness, I mean, Jessica's a perfect example of this. Like she bleeds health and fitness. Like that is like her, like that's what she loves, right? So asking yourself, like, is that what you're leading with every day? Are you a health and fitness coach? If someone followed you on Instagram, would they be like, wow, yeah, that girl knows exactly what she's doing? Not because she has perfect abs, not because she has a perfect body, but like because she's showing up consistently and she's talking about how she's following a plan and she's inviting me into the trenches of her journey with her and she's progressing. Like all you need to do is progress and like invite people into that story with you. Okay, so that's number 3, get focused on your fitness and your results. 4th thing is, and I love this one too, is create a dedicated workspace. And the National Wake Up Call, was it Allie on Monday? Yeah, she talked a little bit about this on Monday, but create a dedicated workspace. I want to share with you guys one of like my favorite quotes. And it's people respect people who respect themselves. Okay. People respect people who respect themselves. Respect your business. Get a desk. Put it somewhere, create a designated workspace, find somewhere where when you sit down, it is going to be work time and you're going to be super focused on building your business. You know, when I started this business and I was living with my parents and I had like $200 to my name, spent $140 on a challenge pack, 21 Day Fix DVDs. And I literally took my desk that I had used in college that was like collecting dust in the garage and I walked it up to my parents, like, it was kind of like this, it was my dad's old office space turned into kind of like a media room. And I like found a window there and I like put my desk behind the couch towards this window. And I told my mom, I was like, this is my desk space. Like, this is like now my office space. I wasn't working from my bed. I wasn't working from my parents' like kitchen table where I was getting like interrupted like every 30 seconds. Like I dedicated an hour every day to go up to that desk and sit down and really take it seriously and respect my business. Okay. Because people respect people who respect themselves. And I think that goes back to kind of what I was saying at the beginning. Obviously, like, and I don't want to be like insensitive to people. Like I have a ton of coaches who have like lost their serving jobs or like starting to be laid off, like starting this next Monday. But like, if you don't have a job right now and you're posting on social media that you've been laid off from your job, I really want you guys to take a step back because like this is a job. And this is an awesome business opportunity for you to 10x any type of income that you're making at any other job that you have. So before you write off and you start talking about how like you got laid off from your job, like this is a business. Like show up to your desk and work every day. Show people that like, yeah, even though like you can't go into your full-time job now, that's giving you more time to spend on your side gig that you're planning on making, you know, your full-time income in the next 2 years or the next year and a half, or the next 3 years, whatever your goals look like. Okay. So again, people are going to respect your business if they see you respecting it during times of like trial and, you know, crazy times that's going on right now. Right. So respect it, keep showing up and keep talking about the fact that you're working, you're putting in the work and you're still doing the things. And then again, like the same thing goes with fitness, right? You know, when you know, I first started and I consistently did my workouts and I consistently showed up for the 21 Day Fix. Like I respected my fitness journey and my family respected me and my business because of it, because I took it seriously. Like on the days where we were traveling, like I would grab like water bottles from the hotel room and I would still do like 21 Day Fix arm day, like in the hotel room, and I'd roll out my yoga mat. And I created so much respect for myself, and my family started respecting me and my business so much because I showed up no matter what. Like on Sunday nights, we used to have family dinners, but it turned into my team call night. So my family literally moved family dinners like 2 hours earlier, or it was 2 hours later when I was living at home, to make sure that I could do my team calls, because they knew that Sunday nights were my team call nights. My family respects my business now because I respected it from day one, and I didn't like shuffle it around like life things. Like it was a concrete thing, it was a part of my life, and I took it seriously. And then again, yeah, like same thing goes with fitness. Like asking yourself, are you interested or are you committed? Making sure that you're respecting it. Okay, so those were the 4 tips. So the first thing, again, follow only people who really push you and who are similar to you. So find a social media mentor in the network and really give yourself permission to not only idolize them, but be like them, right? Like take marketing tips and tricks from them and implement it into your own business. No one else is going to give you permission to be a badass in this business besides yourself. Number 2, stop reinventing the wheel. Jessica is amazing. She's successful for a reason. Do what she does. Third thing, get focused on your fitness and your results at the end of the day. Like you have to bleed Beachbody Blue and really do like live the lifestyle that we live in order to be successful. And then the 4th thing is taking yourself and your business seriously by respecting it and creating a dedicated workspace. So that is pretty much what I've got for you guys. Hopefully that was helpful.
Oh my gosh, so good. I've been typing away notes this whole time. And I love that because honestly, if everyone, even if you're a brand new coach right now and you walked away and you did this, you would see so much growth in your business. And I love that we talk a lot about being CEOs of our business. And I think a lot of people hear that or they say that. They don't ever actually break that down as far as what it means. This is what it means. This is what it means. And I love that you had said, like, I've done, every single Beachbody workout, even the ones I didn't like, I did them and I completed them. And how many times in our job, outside of Beachbody, people go to work and every day they work at a job that they hate, but they keep showing up. Why do we quit on ourselves? Like so many people quit when things get uncomfortable in our job, in our career that we're doing. So much gold. I want to open it up to you guys. If you have any questions specifically for Karli, feel free to either put it in the chat or unmute yourself. I have one I'd like to start with, if that's okay. I love that you said in March that you and your team exploded. As the world was shutting down, you guys exploded. What do you think you would attribute that to? Was it you guys leaned in harder? You shifted? What do you think was the reason for that?
Yeah, so when this all kind of started unfolding, I went into my team page and I laid down the law with them. I was like, you guys, I do not want to see anybody marketing because you're at home, you should work out with me, or because gyms are closed, you should work out with me. There's a very fine line with like utilizing like the time that we have to like serve people and utilizing the time that we have to like market fear into people and get them to join because of that. And like I've seen like the shitty posts and like I don't want us to be a part of that. So I went live my team page and I was like, you don't have to change your invites. Like you don't have to change anything that you're doing about your business because what's happening in the world speaks for itself. The fact that we work out from home speaks for itself. Like you don't need to be that person who's like, I work out from home, you're in quarantine, you should work out with me. Like people can connect those dots on their own. So what you should be doing is just showing up like you always do and inviting like you always do. And I really challenged them. I was like, I don't want you guys to change your invites because I think if you change your invites, that really shows that like you're utilizing this time to like either like pull back from your business or like push into your business and try to get people to join you like based out of fear, right? And if you just invite like you normally do, the stuff that's happening, the fact that people are stuck at home, those are going to be things that will push people to probably join your group without you even saying it, right? Like working from home is an awesome opportunity right now. People know that without us saying it, right? Like it markets itself. So we don't need to be that person that's like, you should join my Become a Coach workshop this weekend because you're stuck at home and you can't go to your job. Like how horrible does that sound? Like obviously no one would probably do that, but like, that's what I really challenged them. I was like, you guys, this is an awesome time to just be you and continue to crush your at-home workouts and continue to crush your at-home business, right? That'll speak for itself. And the other thing I said is, please don't pull away. Please don't stop inviting right now because times are tough, because that also is going to show that like you're just thinking that you're like every other network marketing company who's like preying on people right now. And if you stop inviting and you stop posting about your business and you stop posting about your workouts, people are going to be like, yeah, see, I knew that she was just salesy, and of course she's not going to want to sell right now. Like if you go away right now, you're basically telling people that that's what you do. So show up like you normally do. I haven't changed my invites at all. I hosted a Become a Coach workshop last weekend. It was probably one of the most successful Become a Coach workshops I've ever hosted. I didn't say anything about the pandemic or quarantine or freaking Corona. Like people can connect those dots all on their own and you don't have to say a word, right? So just go, I mean, that's what I did. I just said, go along as usual.
I love that. I think that's so powerful. Okay, you guys, does anyone have any questions? This is like your golden nugget opportunity for Karli to ask her anything. She obviously has a legacy of duplication and success in her business. Anything you're struggling with?
So I have a question. I've been doing the work and finding a lot, making, connections with people and getting to the point where they're very interested in, but it's the financial aspect of the unknown that's stopping everybody. What is something that you would say to these people that are still, some of them are even still at work, but just the whole economy, the way it's gone down, they're all freaked out about spending money on like anything that's not essential right now, even though they really want to. What would be something that you would say to them?
I mean, I would bring up coaching. I'd bring up the fact that like you could literally sign up as a coach and get 2 friends to like hop on with you and you can earn back your investment. But I don't think that I would push it. Like that's like when you really do have to be like a little bit softer and like obviously like more respectful and give people grace. What I've been doing is I've also been challenging my team to do this is like not giving people like free workouts, like not advertising free workouts like on the front end of your social media. But if someone really does have like a scarcity mentality or they're really struggling financially, you could be like, okay girl, like if it's really not a good time for you, I actually have this list of 10 free workouts. I can shoot them over to you and you can test them out the next couple days. And if you think that this would be a good fit, like maybe just like, shoot me an email back within the next 48 hours so I can get you plugged into my boot camp that starts on Monday. And so I have a PDF that just has a list of all of like the sample workouts from like the last like 8 or 9 programs that have launched. And I've been sending that to people who have said no to me who are struggling financially, because I feel like if I can give that value to them right now, maybe in a week or so when they are ready, or when they try the workouts and realize how amazing it is, then they'll turn around and like want like to jump in. Does that help at all?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think that that's something really powerful too, is connecting that some people don't, as the world is shifting towards valuing their health and being so scared to lose it, it's helping them make that connection that investment in your health and fitness should be essential. It's just that not a lot of people are there. And so that's what we can do in our conversations and on social media, is when we are able to add value and bridge that gap so that they do see this as an investment in their health and future. Because we all know people are actually spending a crap ton of money right now on toilet paper, right? On like the toilet paper phenomenon, like on things that they think are essential. And so it's our opportunity to help people see this as something that's essential for them. And you just get to be the person that facilitates that and helps them through it. And I think doing something like having that approach of adding value before they spend any money can be really helpful in doing that and like bridging that gap. Really good. Who else? Anyone else have any questions for Karli? Literally golden nugget opportunity. You have the golden ticket in front of you. Anything you've been struggling with?
So I have a coach that I signed up, was my first coach that I signed up, and she doesn't use Shakeology daily, which I just keep showing up because I use it every day. And then I do post about how beneficial it's been to me. I guess I just, like, for other people, is that what I just need to do, is keep showing up, showing that it worked for me, because I've encouraged her to use it, but it sits on her shelf.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, obviously, yeah, you can't go into somebody's pantry and force them to drink it. But remembering, like, we also have like a whole other line of like supplements. Like, even if Shakeology isn't something that like she has seen the value in yet, like it always takes people like a while to like understand the value of things. You know, getting her hooked up with Energize or getting her hooked up with Recover, or like if she's starting 10 rounds, like she's going to be like super sore, like she's going to need Recover. You know, sending out like a little packet of Energize to your handful of clients and like getting them hooked on other things. Like there's so many things in our catalog that like, I don't think it's a requirement for one person to love one thing. But yeah, I mean, it definitely takes the time for you just to like show up and like instill that trust. And something that I've been doing the last like week or so, I've been trying to be consistent about it, is not really talking about like Shakeology, like the brand, but like what I put in my body every single day. And again, it goes without saying that like that is so important, especially right now. So what I have is like a list of all the Shakeology ingredients in like the notes section of my phone. And every time I make my shake, I'll just take a picture of my shake and then I'll overlay that freaking 50 ingredient list of things that go into it that I'm putting into my body every single day. And it's not me saying, you should drink Shakeology because I drink it too. Like no one gives a shit, right? Like no one cares. But if you can give them like the value and connect with them, like what is inside Shakeology and what you're putting into your body every single day, like that's the connection. And maybe then like even your new coach, she'll be like, yeah, I should be feeling my body with that every day. Like one scoop, shake it up, and I can get all of that in there. Like that's so simple. So again, connecting, kind of going back to value, like how can you share the value of it?
Love it. And I think that that is really powerful too when people have coach memberships just for the discount in the beginning, is showing them like, hey, you're also getting a discount on beach bars right now, or you're also getting a discount on the 3-day refresh, or you're also getting a discount on the Energize, which is super awesome. You all should have gotten an email from me, one second, buddy, with a quarantine resources PDF. And I think it was the last page, I did my 5 favorite Beachbody products right now. And I put a little snippet in there, like reminder for anyone who has a coach account, you get 25% off of everything. And I talked about super greens and hydrate and Energize and focus energy, and just like a little paragraph as to why I really liked it. And it really helps people value that coach discount so that they're not like, oh, I'm not drinking Shakeology, I'm going to cancel my coach membership because I just don't need it. Sarah, I think, did you have a question?
Yeah.
I had one. Is it working? Uh-oh, Sarah, we can't hear you. Can you guys hear her? Or is it just me? Let me try. Hold on, buddy.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, try to talk now.
There we go. Yeah.
Ah, there we go. Yeah, what was my question? Oh, Karli, hey, by the way, it's good to see you. Thank you for being on here. I have a question about how many hours you worked when you started. You mentioned that you would like sit down for like 1 hour and have that focus time. And how many, like, what does your typical day look like now? Like, how many hours would you say you typically work a day?
I work a lot. Yeah, I'm like a workaholic. I have a problem. But when I was like first starting, I would say like even then, like I would love to like sit down like for an hour. But like I was saying, like I was living with my parents and my brother and my sister was still living in the house. And then I was like, you know, working all these other jobs. And then I added on bartending to that. So like, it was awesome if I had like a designated hour, but usually it was like, I would use my desk to like sit down for team calls or like sit down for a training or sit down for that. But what I really taught my coaches, especially in the beginning, is like utilizing like power pockets. And so like giving them like that mentality switch of like, if you're in between yoga classes or if you're a student, you're in between like, you know, your classes at school or whatever, you have 15 minutes in the car to like, you know, bang out like 10 invites or check in with your clients or like, you know, get through your emails really quick. So utilizing like those power pockets of time, because ideally, especially when you're signing up a new coach, like they don't have an hour a day. I mean, maybe we do now, but like you don't have like an hour a day to like really like dive into your business. So teaching them just to like, again, work smarter, not harder with their time, and making sure that they're utilizing even those little power pockets. Like if you can get in 10 to 15 minute like power pockets 4 to 5 times a day, like that's an awesome amount of time to dive into your business. So not discrediting like people who don't have like that, you know, really like set hour. But nowadays, like, I mean, I'll work like a couple hours in the morning and then I'll take a couple hours off and then I work usually till like 5 or 6 at night. But I don't really like follow a schedule. Like a big reason why I wanted to become a full-time coach is so I don't have to follow a schedule. But like I work a lot. Like I would say, I mean, yeah, like a normal like 40-hour week job or more. Yeah.
Awesome. I thank you. I'm having to switch back to the whole Power Pockets approach since my kids are home now. So thank you.
Yeah, of course.
All right, I think Celicia has a question. Celicia.
Hi, I do.
Okay, there you go.
I was going to ask, you had mentioned how you had really looked up to Amy Silverman and just like marketing, kind of taking ideas from her. Along that line, what sorts of things do you do like to think of post ideas? And I was on the call for the Difference Maker Movement call this week about like learning how to find more ideas about posting. But I was just wondering if you had any like specific tips. Like, do you schedule out like a certain type of post every day, or do you just kind of do it on the fly?
Yeah, good question. So I don't like scheduling out my posts. I have coaches on my team who love scheduling it out. And I think that they're like a little bit like busier than me. So like maybe they need to do that. I have like an overarching kind of like monthly plan, which I've definitely gotten like from coaches that I follow who are like uber successful. And it's more of like a marketing strategy for like the month. So I would say like the first 2/3 of the month, I'm always focusing more like on fitness and like filling my groups, call to actions based on fitness, getting my clients started. And then like the last third of the month is a lot more like business and like coaching focused. And my idea of that is like, you know, the first 2 weeks I get clients set up, they're starting their fitness programs, they're falling in love with the process. And then the end of the month, or I would say usually maybe just like the last like 3, 4, 5 days, I'll host a Become a Coach workshop, and it'll be a lot more coaching and business focused. So to get those clients converted into coaches, or maybe it's even clients from the previous month. So I always have 2 sections of the month. One part of the month that's always more fitness focused, and then one part of the month where I shift gears more towards inviting to my Become a Coach workshops. And I learned all of that from Amy and watching her like marketing strategy with that. But as far as like content and like what to post, again, like, I mean, I just get kind of like inspo from like other coaches who are consistently like sharing every day. Yeah, I don't know. I usually share like once a day, and I know when we first start, or like a couple years ago, it was like, you know, share like 2 or 3 times a day on social media. But now with stories, I feel like you can share like once a day and it's fine. But like, yeah, you'll see, even if you go back on my post right now, because it's the beginning of the month, like it's a lot more fitness focused things, and then just threading into my brands inside of that. So, I mean, with my new coaches, I always talk about, you know, you have your 5 brands, one of those is coaching. 4 other things have to be 4 other things that have nothing to do with coaching, because although yes, I want you to like, you know, crush your coaching business, I want you to attract people who are similar to you. And I want those things to be things that have nothing to do with coaching, so you can really attract like your niche market. So like for me, it's like thrifting and home renovations and newlywed life and Pacific Northwest living. Those are like other things that I've blended in. But at the core, obviously, I'm threading fitness and coaching. So I think you just like diving into your brands. That helps.
Thank you. That's really helpful.
Yeah.
I love that. All right, you guys, your last chance. Anyone else have any questions? Thank you so much, Karli. This has been, oh, good. Wait, did someone unmute themselves? No? I'm like hearing things on my end. Oh man, this was so good. I've got so many notes. I want to encourage you guys, as soon as you get off this call, to make an action list or take an action. Do something that you've learned from this. So pick 1 to 3 things that you're going to implement. And I really, really highly recommend having that mindset shift of, this is a business. This is my career. We have to do some things. We have to do things sometimes that aren't comfortable in order to make this thrive, to get to the place of total freedom. And that's where, like right now, I'm so thankful. And you guys know, I did a post in our team page. I had to take a step back. I wasn't able to be as supportive as I usually am for at least a week, but a couple weeks there, because of what I was dealing with my family. And I'm so thankful that I built up my business enough so I could have that freedom. But it took waking up at 4 a.m. when I was working in a prison to do that, like consistently for 2 years. And so like connecting back to the big picture why and the small whys that motivate you to do the hard stuff right now. And I also think that throughout our entire team, another huge piece of advice that will be helpful for everyone is that when you take your business seriously, your family will take your business seriously. And that's something I see a lot of people struggle with, because we, especially as women, and a lot of us are moms, right? We tend to put our stuff on the back burner. But if you can have a conversation with your family, like, hey, we're in rough times right now, right? This is really important for our future. And I'm going to be dedicating this specific time to coaching. So baby daddy or mom or whoever, or kids, you're going to be watching a movie for the next hour and a half, or you're going to be doing this, and be okay with that. And that's part of the sacrifice to get us to the bigger place where we can have that, we can be making a ton of money and have that freedom from home. So I just wanted to, again, you're the only one that can give yourself permission for that, but encourage you guys to like take it seriously now, because it will pay off later, and everyone will start to respect you as a business owner. And when you start to respect yourself as a business owner, all of a sudden, that's when you have more people coming to you. Because you respect yourself as a business owner and a person of authority in this category, and you're putting it out there, even when you don't feel it, but like you're putting it out there, like, this is what I'm doing. Come to me. Let me help you. Work with me. We'll figure it out together. They're going to be attracted to that. But if you're super timid and weak about it and wishy-washy, they're not going to be attracted to that, and they'll probably go to somebody else. Our numbers of Beachbody On Demand subscribers right now are insane. I shared in our team page yesterday. I got, I think, 12 leads in 6 days this month. That's crazy. Like, isn't it like 16,000 new people a day or something right now? Which is unheard of.
Yeah. And it's usually like 2,000 a day. What? Crazy.
Oh, shoot. I can't hear you, Karli, for some reason. Can you guys hear her? Yeah? I don't know what's happening over here. So at least you can hear her. Oh, man. Anyways, yeah, it's insane. So the opportunity is bigger than I've ever seen it right now, and not ever in an icky way. And if people are looking for what you have to offer way, and they're going to sign up way, whether or not you put out the invites. So it is a super crappy feeling when your really good friends or family members go sign up on the Beachbody On Demand website and get assigned a random coach. Don't let that happen to you, because it sucks. Or when they go to somebody else and they sign up with somebody else who's been showing up every day because you haven't been showing up every day, right? All right, I'm going to let everybody go. Karli, thank you so much for your time. Love you, sister. Everybody stay healthy and safe out there. I'm really proud of you, and I'm here if you need me. Bye.